So in this recording, I want to talk about Disney, right? And how much harm Disney has caused me in terms of psychology, in terms of the systematic abuses that Disney promoted through race division. The entirety of Disney background of basically promoting themselves was promoting the idea of a hierarchy system of race, right? They have all these princes, they have all these beautiful, puffy, Irish-looking German characters on there, where you have to find your Prince Charming, and they have an entire story about how beautiful different hierarchy system of monarch is much better, because the queen and the king owns everything, and they live, happy ever after, when they kill either a troll or they kill a witch or something terrible, right? And they end up ever after, even Shrek, becomes a prince at the end of the day. And what that causes me the harm on society is that not everybody's a Prince Charming, right? Not everybody ride around on a white horse, and not everybody have all the time in the world to deal with some drama with some white girl somewhere. And so that affected a lot, because that affected a lot of people's lives, because when I, as you can see, I'm not European, right? I'm not like German, or I'm not like very European alike, because of my skin color. Because I get, I just stay out in the sun, and I like to do a few walks around. I'm not an indoor cat who's instantly and every time sitting indoors. And that way my skin color changes and stuff like that. But I'm not that type of person. I'm actually outside running and everything for Disney, right? Hello, Disney, you pedophile freaks. I hope you get hanged if you're watching this video, any of you. But anyway, I just want to talk about how much harm Disney has caused society, because it created a whole structure of sex revolution in America, where women from every races of people are trying to find that Prince White Charming European dude, leaving every single one of us unfulfilled and unhappy. And I actually talked to a retired cop who was working on private investigation out of Ohio, working for the federal government. Was a really good friend of mine, and I was asking her, because she was working on a multiple operations for pedophilia that involve investigating these corporations. Hello, Disney, bye. And what happened is that she told me that the psychology and the long-term effects of women in America will cause a great harm in society, and it already is, because she told me that almost 90% of every girl in America are raised to being told all these stories that Prince Charming is out there, and he's European, and he's blonde or ginger, and they can do magic and do superficial powers. It's almost like something out of the Third Reich, out of Nazi Germany, where whites are the only people who have superpowers, basically. And it created a structure where if you're not white European, you're not gonna get laid. Like, you're not, like, a girl doesn't see herself with Shrek, basically. A girl doesn't see herself with a brown dude, or a girl doesn't see herself with a hardworking person. That's never gonna be what a person is looking for. This girls are gonna be looking for Prince Charming, the cool guy who has all the social media followers, who doesn't benefit or do anything for society that's beneficial. So Disney created a culture of sexuality of useless people, useless eaters, because they're just reproducing shitheads that think they have superpowers. And so if you do a trip to West Virginia, you know that West Virginia and people who have like hierarchy of Europeans, right, in different places in Detroit, different places in Michigan, people start consuming drugs because they don't have superpowers. They don't have that super ability to become billionaires or millionaires. So all these white people, they start consuming a shitload of drugs. And it's sex and drugs and everything you can think of. And that leaves all the brown dudes, that leaves everybody else just studying, trying to prove to all these white girls that we're you know, and that we are intelligent, and that we have to go beyond ourselves to try to prove ourselves to these people. So now you got a bunch of brown dudes who are CEO of Google. You got a bunch of fucking brown people running multi-billion-dollar tech companies. You got a bunch of Asians struggling with everything, with alienation and isolations and everything you can think of. Why? Because Disney doesn't have an Asian prince. Indians especially doesn't have it. Indians, they see Indians as the gas station guy who says, "Thank you, come again." That's all. And that's the culture that Disney created. That's the culture Hollywood created. And so, you know, I'm on my 30s, right? I'm like 34 years old, and I only had a relationship with like 5 white girls. And if you're on Disney, do a huge favor for me, Disney. Go on my social media accounts on Facebook, and then do a quick trip on my Instagram. I'm sure you guys can find it. My name is on this channel. Try to find a picture of me with a girl. Try to find a picture of me that isn't either my family or somebody else. Try to find a picture of me with anybody. You won't find anybody. Not a single person. 34 years of absolute alienation and isolation. And it's not because of the job that I'm working on here, because prior to this I was even more alienated. So I was just trying to prove myself that I was worth it. I became a network engineer, became everything, trying to prove to myself that, you know, like I'm better, like I'm good, like I'm good, like please show me love, like please with me, please be with me, like let's start a family, let's live that American dream, right? Like where I met all these girls. Like my longest relationship I ever had was like 5 months with these white girls, and it's like one of those type of situations where, especially here in Florida, because of Mormons and all these pieces of shit running Disney, there's absolute no capitalism going on or happening inside the state. There's nothing coming in. There's not commodities. So you're left in between that $30,000 to $40,000 income bracket, where if you don't have 2 people in the household working, you're not gonna make it. So you're pushed into positions like this, trying to make it, and you end up completely alienated. And that's what I have to say, basically, is that Disney caused a huge harm on society. I tried to meet a nice brown girl, right, in Orlando. She looked at me weird. She was like one of these Disney fanatics who had absolute everything about Disney. She was even part of some fucking special clubs that they have at Disney. But because I wasn't Prince Charming, It didn't really fucking work out at all. If you go to any place in Florida, especially my hometown here, I suggest if you're an executive from Disney watching this, or anybody, go to my town right here where I'm at right now. I'm in a Treasure Coast area by Vero Beach and West Palm Beach and Jupiter. Do me a favor, go anywhere, and find me any brown couples walking around on these red states. Do me a huge favor, try to find a relationship where there's a white girl and a brown guy. Find that for me. Find a white girl and a brown guy. You won't see that at all. Like, I've been living here in this part of towns here where it's just a bunch of old farts dying, and it's just like you don't see much, man. You don't see much at all. All you see is just like, especially in Texas, where everybody is segregated to hell. Everybody is segregated to hell. Like, and I feel for a lot of black people, even though they have like their own sets of projects, housing projects. But for everybody else who isn't white, man, you're not going to make it, man. Just in a relationship bracket, you're not gonna make it, because you got Fortune 500 companies like Disney, you got fucking Walmart, who is also Disney, and you are considered a brown slave. Hell, they even teach you that all the ancient Egyptians who built all the pyramids were brown and slaves. The whole, everything that goes back into history has everything to do with teaching society that brown dudes are slaves, and that white people and all the European have supernatural powers, and in actuality is invert. It's all invert, and they try to paint the image of Jesus white with blue hair and blue eyes, and they try to take everything and make it European. Anything superficial is European. So that's the type of shit America is involved with, and if you're a brown dude living here, this video is not about division or race division, but this video is about a corporation pushing segregism, just segregating the living shit out of the American people's minds, and then causing long-term effects where people like me, who are hardworking, who are creating, who are like the back fucking bone of America, we push everything. We know exactly who goes in and out of over there in Orlando, and it's like we're just, we know exactly what the hell is happening, and it's just like, it's one of those situations where, you know, one of these days Disney's gonna have to pay for it, and you know, either you're gonna have to sell out to foreign adversaries like the Kremlins and try to get help from Kremlins, or you're gonna have to get help from India, or you're gonna have to get help from China. But here in America, man, it's a shame. It's a shame, honestly. It's a really, really bad shit that's happening right now, and I don't like cursing a lot. I'm sorry for my language, but Disney pisses me off. Okay. As soon as that girl rejected me and then went on to date some white dude on Disney in Orlando who spoke my languages, and then I met another girl who spoke a different language that I knew, did the same shit, and then I met a bunch of Brazilians who come into America and they become whores instantly. I don't understand how the fuck does Disney do this? Like, because all they talk about is Disney. Their entire childhood was programmed to go after this European guy and to be a whore, to do all these things for money. It's just so fucking bizarre. It's really weird. It's really weird. And then these girls, they become strippers. They sell their bodies out. They make, dollars, and then they get out of here. And it's just like, And that's the type of culture Disney created. And I'm not a type of guy who goes to strip clubs. I don't buy whores. And I was trying to have a meaningful relationship, trying to have family alike, but Disney created a culture of narcissism and gossip and this instant gratification of Prince Charming type of like a relationship. And I gotta figure something out, man. I got my passport. I'm thinking about doing a trip to Brazil, and I'm thinking about going to maybe a Russian embassy. I'm trying to see if America's enemy has something better to offer. That's what I'm trying to see. So is it going to be Disney or is it going to be the Kremlins? Because the Kremlins, they have beautiful castles over there. They got beautiful churches. So I'm trying to figure out who is most brainwashed and who can I benefit from, basically. Because if I can't find a meaningful relationship right next to this hellhole of Disney, then maybe if I travel 3,000 miles to Russia or the Kremlins and go to their castles in the Kremlins, maybe I can find a meaningful relationship, because they are more conservative and they're more have more family values, things like that. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. Maybe Russia has it right, you know, because if the Germans segregated us, if the British segregated us through Disney with all these mind control, and, you know, mind controlling their women, basically, then maybe the Kremlins have it right. So I'm seriously considering going to Brasilia, getting my Brazilian passport, going to a Russian embassy and get a visitor's, then go to Dubai. There's a flight that you can go from Dubai, from Brazil to Dubai, and then Dubai you go straight to Russia. It's a 10-hour flight. And I want to see if I can do a trip to Moscow and St. Petersburg. I know it's a bad timing right now, but maybe, just maybe they have it right. I'm not so sure. If I become a political prisoner of war for just basically being here in this hellhole here in Disney, maybe, you know, that's going to be considered a little bit better for myself, honestly. That way I might have some friends over there in Russia. They can teach me everything, you know, about criminality and all that good stuff. So that's what I'm trying to figure out, man. I'm trying to figure out who has it right. Who has it right? Is it Disney or the Kremlins? Whose castle is going to fulfill the promises of having family, strong community, strong family, paying your taxes and being loyal to the nation? Who has it right? Because Disney are creating a sex culture of whites only, basically. And so, just, I got my passport. I got to get the fuck out of here, man. I got to see what's out there. I have to see what's out there, because if I've been here for 34 years of my life and I have been segregated to hell, then there must be something else out there. There's got to be something else out there. Because I have been in every 50 states. I have been every hole of this nation. Every hole of this nation. From the very top in Washington State, Bellingham, all the way down to 0 miles in Key West. I have been to every hole, even all the way up over there in Vermont. Okay, in the middle of fucking nowhere in Vermont. I have been everywhere. And I'm just a brown dude who isn't good enough, basically. Who is just pushing, trying to do everything I can in order to fulfill my duties to be a family guy. And I'm framed as domestic violence. I'm framed as everything wrong with America. I'm framed as even raping something that I never even raped before. People are just going on the news talking about how everybody's raping everybody. It's just brown dudes raping everybody, and it's just like, I'm not the guy who's raping everybody. I'm not the guy who's blowing up the Twin Tower. I'm not the guy who's... Everything bad, everything diabolical and bad is brown. Everything good is white, basically. And the whole system of slavery is basically, you know, the whole system, the structure of society was built by whites. So it's just so weird, man. It's just so bizarre how Disney did all this shit. And now I have to figure out how to get away from it, because everybody, every fucking girl, every white girl is waiting for Prince Charming. And they come around here, they love, you know, testing the waters out like they have done in my whole life. You know, just go around and like 5 girls my whole life, and it's just like they go around, they come around, and it's just like test the waters, and then get out and get married to some guy who is abusive, alcoholic, and horrible traces of everything. Horrible traces. Like, all of my ex-girlfriend left me for some white guy who was addicted to heroin, or had a gambling problem, or had everything. And mind you, I have my own fucking business. I close my own contract. I'm not like a company person at all. I'm actually starting to drink now. Like, I'm actually getting very drunk lately, because I rather get away from all this bullshit. Honestly, it's not worth it. And I really hope somebody releases a bioweapon in Disney. And I know that it's not a terrorist thing to say, thing to hope for, but since all the brown people are bad, I seriously hope somebody shuts down Disney. Somebody releases something there. I hope somebody does something, because hoping is not illegal. And fuck you, Disney. Fuck you for creating this hierarchy system of sexuality of whites only. Fuck you. And everything that you have done, not to just my people, but a bunch of white girls that I had really good potential to have a family, to have everything. And I just want to say that because of your company, because of the mind control, because of the psychological stress that you cause a bunch of young girls, now it's affecting all of us here, because we look really fucking bad. All the bad characters are brown, all the bad characters are black, all the brown characters are... Even the Beauty and the Beast, you know, depict all the brown dudes as a fucking beast. So, fuck you, Disney. Fuck you. Big fuck you to all of you and all the Freemasons out there. I hope you have enough checkerboard for 1.6 billion people to fucking slaughter you in the future. You know, seriously. Fuck all of you, man. You create your problems. You create your problems, okay? People aren't bad. You create them to be bad, and you frame whites as good, and you sexualize white girls to go after white dudes, and they're only fucking white dudes. The rest of us, we're working the grind here, alienated, trying to make the best that we can in life, while your pothead, drug addict pieces of shit are popping out a bunch of white children around and causing all this social distress and social collapse of society, and then importing all the fucking drugs in. Do we look like coke heads? Do we look like we snort coke all day, Disney? No, it's all your superheroes out there who just so happens to be white, Disney. Can you look me in the eye and say that, you know, we're not racist, our company have anti-racist policies, our company will never do anything, ha ha, ha ha, our company is such a goofy, ha ha ha. Fuck you, Disney. Fuck you.